welcome back to Life Lessons in Lockdown, and I promised you a hot and steamy sesh this time, but it's not only gonna get hot and steamy, it's gonna get honest, it's gonna get real, and we're gonna learn something out of this in a very, very sexy way. Give it up for the legendary Jett Adore.
Hello, beloveds. So, to those of you who do not know at all who I am, I'm Jett Adore. I'm a dancer, I'm an actor, I'm a burlesque performer. I'm a stage presence coach to performers, and I am also what I like to call a reimagined macho activist. I live in Los Angeles, and here I am in the place that I like to call my at-home indoor personal pool office, where I do much of my work and where I also do what I'm doing right now, which is a little bathtub Q&A with you. So I've got some questions and let's dive right in. COVID entirely changed my life. Entirely. It took my life away. The life that I had. You know, all of my performance contracts, I work full-time touring the world with my own shows that I produce, also as a guest performer and headlining performer at festivals and big burlesque shows around the world. And I do all of the world tours with Dita Von Teese. But yeah, all of my contracts were canceled. All of my work was canceled through 2020 and through 2021. So a lot of us artists and performers knew pretty quickly when this happened that we would have to sort of reimagine our careers. We don't know what that will look like, and we certainly know that anything indoors with a lot of people sitting or standing close to each other is going to be the last thing that will be reopened. And we're not so sure that anything like that will ever be reopened in the exact same way. So we're waiting and seeing, but in the meantime, we're reinventing ourselves.
Yeah, it's true. We haven't been able to do a lot. And tell me, Jett, what have you been up to?
I finally got to teach my 8-week course on the secrets of stage presence online for the first time, which I've been wanting to do for years. I've taught it all over the world, but never online. So that was a big deal for me to figure out how I could make it effective as an online course, doing private sessions with performers. Well, I've started my Patreon called Your Private Jet, and we fly all around my most private areas. So I'm creating, short film projects from home and doing a lot of writing, doing fun filming, sort of art, what I think is sort of artistic, erotic film nuggets that I do from my home, and learning how to edit on the software and getting better video equipment and lighting equipment and all of that. So just reimagining things in that way. The biggest opportunity, because I like thinking of it in that way, when I was finally able to sort of get myself out of the confusion and the cloud of what do I do next, once it really set in that this is going to be a while, I first tried to say, well, focus on not what you're used to doing, but what you know is your talent or what you're good at or what can you offer, has been the question that I've been asking over and over. What worth do I have to anyone else besides myself if I can't create live performance and be on stage or produce or direct something that affects other people. So the opportunity, I think, really has been one to ask ourselves, what really can we offer? The fundamental core of how do we want to affect other people in this life, and what do I have to offer? So it gives space to know what's really, really important to us and to other people.
And I know it's a bit of a rare question, but if you would wish for something, what would you wish for?
I'll tell you, I don't tend to think of the word wish as having a positive connotation, because I think wishing for something is nearly, if not entirely, the opposite of wanting or desiring something. Because if I'm wishing something were true, I'm automatically acknowledging that it can't be true or it won't be true. Oh, I wish that could happen, but it isn't, and it's not true, and it can't happen, right? That's how I think of wish. That's always a fantasy. So, first of all, I try not to wish for things. If I want something or desire something for myself or someone else, I try to acknowledge it as something I want. I want this to happen, and I'm going to make it happen. How can I make it happen? I would like to cause other people to have a positive moment. Of course, I do care what other people think of me. Not everybody. But I care the effect that I have on people, the intention that I have. I want that to be positive, not negative.
Yeah, it's true, because this period of time is giving people a lot of opportunities to think about self-love and practice new things to create a clear and beautiful mindset for themselves. So thank you for your point of view on this. And what I'm really curious about is, how do you see the future, your future, the future of burlesque? Please, I'm really hot and steaming to know.
At this point in my life, at this very moment, it's hard for me to think too far ahead into the future. I've got plenty to do to imagine what I plan to do this week or this hour. I'm just excited about this moment, using what I have to do what I want to do, to make the effect that I want to have, to be of some kind of use or interest or value to someone, to have something to offer. That's what I'm seeking out. And I'm pretty much just going full speed ahead and greenlighting every stupid idea I have, because who knows? I would hope that burlesque as an art form, which is really how I see it, as a genre of theater particularly, continues on and grows. It's also the theater of embracing and accepting the differences in all of us. And the idea of the metaphor of exposing yourself for all of exactly who you are and being entirely free of shame, and the power of being free of shame and being brave enough to reveal yourself. So in that way, it invites people to have an outlet, to be accepted, to be embraced for who they are. And I would hope that it grows more and more to be that kind of art form, because isn't that amazing?
Did you maybe create new habits that you can tell our viewers about?
Oh, well, I started eating keto. Almost, kind of, mostly. I don't think I eat enough fat for it to really be considered keto, because the keto diet is usually, I think, like 70% or higher fat in your diet. And I need more protein than that to even attempt to maintain the muscle that I've taken 25 years to build. I've lost a lot of it because of this, because I need to lift heavy weights to be able to maintain my muscle, and can't go to the gym for a year. So I'm doing my best to just kind of stay lean, and I really like the idea of kind of doing a higher fat and very low carb and pretty high protein diet. I'll say that it took me a while to want to do these online shows because I never really felt great about doing what I knew was most effective live on a stage, instead on camera from home. I didn't want to compromise the performance. I wanted to wait until I had a good idea or something I wanted to try that was supposed to be from home, that worked best because it was at home. But I hadn't ever really been the kind of person to think of my performances as something that's sort of a look into the behind the scenes or into my private life. So it took me a while to even wrap my mind around what in the hell can I do that's interesting from my bedroom or from my living room. Because I usually think in the fantasy, I usually think in the ridiculous, extravagant, heightened place. So the idea of doing something in my home didn't sound all that interesting to me. But I grew to have some really exciting ideas, exciting to myself, about ways to reimagine how I thought of myself as a performer and what I could bring. And to make it more private, intentionally more private and more personal and intimate. And I think a lot of these online shows have developed into doing just that. You know, they really have grown now, I think, to be exploring something really exciting and new, reimagining the art form. Being able to teach my 8-week course in the Secrets of Stage Presence was about the most amazing thing throughout all of this last year. It saved me, really. It made me feel like I had worth to someone else besides myself. And there really is nothing that compares to the fulfillment that I get from being able to help guide someone into a moment of transformation, to have sort of a breathtaking aha breakthrough moment. If I get to be part of that I can ride on that wave for quite a while.
Don't forget me for your private session, please. But tell me, because I'm not ready to stop listening to you. It's so interesting. What have you been missing most?
Being physically in the same room with people I love. And physical touch. Intimacy. Affection. I think a lot of people might say that. Because we can talk online. We can have video chats. I can see people. I can look you straight in the eye. I can't touch you. And you're not really here in front of me. And I can't hug you. And I can't hold you. And I can't kiss your cheek. And I certainly can't fondle your up and down places. So I miss a lot of that.
Ooh, I've been missing some physical touches myself. My God. So if you want to share one more thing with our viewers, what would it be, Mr. Jett Adore?
This is what I have for you to think about. And I mean this from the bottom of my down there special place. to your down there special place. I want you to know you'll never be good enough. And that's okay. Goodbye, my beloveds.
So thank you so much for this wonderful, honest, enlightening, and also such a smart interview. I think I couldn't fall in love with you more, and I just did. So thank you everybody for watching. This was Misbehave for the Viva Burlesque Talks in a Lockdown. Tune in for more performers with us because there's a lot more where that came from. And for now, bye bye.